Have you ever wished you could build an argument that's just so clear, so logical, that it's practically unbreakable? Well, today we're going to unlock a powerful framework that lawyers use, but trust me, it's going to sharpen your thinking in almost any situation you can imagine. All right, let's dive in and master the art of the argument.
And this quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of the matter. Having a great idea or being right is, well, it's pretty useless if you can't communicate why. The real strength of your position isn't just in being correct. It's all in the structure, the clarity of your explanation. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today.
So let's start with this big idea, thinking like a lawyer. I know, it might sound a little intimidating, but what if I told you that you already do it? You've got the core skill, instinctively. We just need to give that natural instinct a little discipline, a powerful structure.
Let's start with a really simple, real-world problem. Imagine this. You agree to help your friend move for $100. You spend the day lifting heavy boxes, you do all the work, and at the end of it, nothing. They don't pay you. How would you argue your case? Just, think about it for a second. What would you say?
Chances are your brain would run through a sequence that looks a lot like this, right? You'd identify the problem, they didn't pay. You'd state the rule, we had a deal. You'd explain your side, I did the work. And then you'd land on the outcome. So, you owe me the money. It's clean, it's simple, and it makes perfect sense. And boom, just like that, you've actually performed legal reasoning. See? It's that intuitive. The real magic, though, is taking that raw, natural thought process and channeling it through a disciplined framework. That's how you make it powerful. So let's look at the framework that does exactly that.
So what is this framework? It's called IRAC. It's an acronym, IRAC, and it stands for Issue, Rule, Application, and Conclusion. This is the secret weapon for turning that natural logic we just talked about into a totally airtight argument.
And this right here, this is the aha moment. It makes the connection crystal clear. The problem you identified, in IRAC, that's called the issue. The rule you followed, we had a deal, that's the rule. Your reasoning, that you did the work, that's the application. And the outcome? Well, that's your conclusion. See? It's not a new way of thinking at all. It's just giving your natural instincts a professional structure.
So, at its core, IRAC is a tool. That's it. It's a simple, four-step method that basically forces you to be clear, to be logical, and to build an argument that can stand up to pretty much any scrutiny, whether you're in a courtroom, a classroom, or even a boardroom.
One of my old law professors used to say this all the time, and it's so true for everything in life. If your audience, your boss, your teacher, anyone can't follow your train of thought, your argument just falls apart. IRAC is what makes your reasoning visible, clear, and easy to follow step by step.
Okay, so let's break IRAC down piece by piece. We'll start with the I, the issue. And getting this first step right, it's all about one thing, precision.
Now, this is a really critical mindset shift. At the issue stage, you are not the hero swooping in to solve the whole thing. Nope. Your one and only job is to precisely identify the specific, answerable question that needs to be resolved.
Okay, quick pop quiz. Here's the scene. Anna borrows Ben's laptop, she accidentally drops it, and now it's damaged. What's the one precise legal question we need to answer here? Think about how you'd phrase that.
And here is the crucial difference. The statement on the left, Anna was careless, well, that's just an observation. It's a bit vague. But look at the one on the right. The issue is whether Anna is legally liable. That is a precise, answerable legal question. That's our goal.
And here's a golden rule for writing this stuff out. Keep it clean. You tackle one issue and only one issue per paragraph. Trust me, that structure is your best friend when it comes to clarity. Always.
All right, so once you've precisely stated your issue, you move on to the R, the rule. But this isn't about just dumping a bunch of information. How you state the rule is absolutely critical.
Just look at the difference here. The bad example on the left is basically a lazy copy-paste of legal terms. But the good example, it shows real understanding. It takes the concept and synthesizes it into a clear principle in your own words. It proves you actually get it.
And that's why, anyone can copy and paste text. The real value, the thing that gets you ahead, is showing you can understand a principle well enough to explain it clearly. You have to prove you've processed the information, not just repeated it like a robot.
Okay, now we move to the most important part of the entire framework. And I mean it, this is the most important part. Application. The A in IRAC. This is where the magic really happens. It's where points are won or lost, because this is where you connect the abstract rule
to the concrete facts of your problem.
Here's a new scenario for us. David offers to sell his bike to Emma. Her response is vague. I'll think about it. David goes and sells it to someone else. Now, based on what we know about contracts, how would you analyze these specific facts? Did Emma accept?
So the process of application is really just about creating a clear link. You take a specific fact from the story, like Emma's exact words, "I'll think about it," and you connect it directly to the rule about what makes a valid acceptance. That connection is your reasoning. It's where you show your work and prove your point.
And let me be perfectly clear, this is non-negotiable. Your application section is completely worthless if you don't use the specific facts from the scenario. This is the #1 mistake people make. You have to connect the rule to the facts every single time.
Okay, so we've broken down all the individual parts of IRAC. Now, let's put it all back together and look at the key principles for building that truly unbreakable argument.
Think of these as your 4 survival rules. 1. One issue per paragraph. 2. Never, ever state a conclusion without first showing how you applied the facts. 3. Remember that your analysis in the application section is way more important than just stating the rule. And 4. Clear, simple writing will always beat overly clever or complicated writing.
And we'll end on this powerful thought because it's so true. It doesn't matter how brilliant your ideas are if they're just trapped inside your head. Using a framework like IRAC lets you show your reasoning, build a solid case, and actually explain why you're right. So the only question left is, what argument are you going to go out and build today?